view of Sarajevo from the famous suburb of Grbavica. Sarajevo city center and the Parliament building. This looks like it's finally getting reconstructed. Holiday Inn. Mountains to the southeast behind Sarajevo, beautiful. Parliament building. And I believe this is the Jewish cemetery right here, from which the Serbs attacked the city. It was famous. This is the famous Sarajevo Jewish cemetery, which dates back to the time of the Spanish Inquisition, when the Ottoman Empire took in the Jews of Europe, rescuing them from the Christians. And during the war in Bosnia, the Serbs used this cemetery to attack the city. And this is a monument to Jews who were killed in World War II. And a smaller monument, I'm not exactly sure what it is. People who were killed by fascist terrorists. And here it shows Jasenovac, which is a concentration camp in Croatia, Stara Gradiška, Đakovo, Jadovno, Ljuborgrad, Auschwitz, Bergen-Belsen. The cemetery is in pretty bad shape since the war. The Jewish cemetery, you have a perfect view of the Bosnian Parliament, which is where they shelled it from, is right where I'm standing, and from the area around it, but mostly right from the cemetery, as you can see. Right here is a perfect example of why it was so advantageous for the Serbs to attack the city from this position. Ready-made barricades. Disgusting. What do you expect? Just an absolutely beautiful view of the city from the cemetery, though. Over by Hersano, Novi Sarajevo, and right into the city center. This is why living in the city was so dangerous. If you can see, the view of the main intersection is perfect from the hills. You would have to cross it somehow. Famous old Catholic church, and the city center starts right here. Skandaria Stadium, where I'll be attending the basketball match tonight. And that is Kosovo Hospital up on the hill. And straight across is the Olympic Stadium. Yep. This farmers' protest has been going on for almost a year and a half now. They've been camped out in front of the remains of the Bosnian parliament there. Every day, every night, they sleep out here in these tents, waiting to get an answer from the Bosnian government as to why they don't protect the workers' rights of domestic food production in Bosnia. How long have you been here?
Koliko ste već bili ovdje?
Ja sam stalno od prvog dana sam.
To je
445 dana.
He's from the first day here. It's about 445 days.
What is he protesting for?
Zašto protestujete?
Pa, najbitnije je sve natječaj ako što ima ovdje. Znači, tražimo da se osnovi ministarstvo za poljoprivredu. Znači, to je najbitnije u ovome svemu. Jer bez ministarstva nema niko da zaštiti tu domaću proizvodnju. Vidiš da 90% su uvozi, a 10% su iraši.
Currently there is 7 persons here and they are going for getting agriculture ministry to Bosnia and Herzegovina to cover internal production of beans.
How has this change affected him personally?
Kako ste vi lično doživjeli sve?
Pa da ti pravo kažem, ja kao neku borbu, ali ovo je borba na neki, mislim, demokratski način jeste, ali je mirni prosvjed. Ipak je ovo često 45 dana. Ja mislim da se ovo negdje na zapadu dešava, da je tu bilo i krvi i svega. Ipak mi ovdje ništa, evo, ama baš ništa nismo, da smo neki najmanji incidenti držimo, da ne bude incidenata. Doduše imali smo onaj provokacija sa strane i dan danas nekad iz auta, neki naiđu, znaš. Pa sve govore da je to politika, ali stvarno ovdje najmanje politike ima, jer ipak ako se ne zaštiti ova domaća proizvodnja, a vidite i sad ove ministre, evo propadeš mi, jer nemamo mi šta drugo, nemamo neku industriju da se možemo tim baviti, jedino politika.
This is a fight for a common goal. Also, we are trying to reach some benefits for all of Bosnian people doing agriculture. And actually there is no answer from politicians so far. No one visited them so far.
No politicians have visited you so far from any of the parties?
Jest, posljedno naš stranka Ratni Zavrnitak i GDS i Bratić.
Only 2 political parties from Bosnia have visited.
And which parties were they?
It's GDS and GDS.
Ova stranka Ratni Zavrnitak.
It's working for the benefits for the name of the party in Bosnia. Those 2 parties are the only ones who listed them so far. They are protesting for 445 days and no one else.
Od ovih trenutnih političara nije niko, a ja ti kažem opet od stranaca bio je Michael Humphries je bio 2 puta i Pedi Ashdown dok je bio on je bio jedan.
Pedi Ashdown and Michael Humphries are the only foreigners who visited them from politicians.
Mr. Schwartz hasn't visited?
Christian Schwartz vas nije posjetio. No, he didn't.
And farmers both in Republika Srpska and Federation are supporting this?
Radnici iz oba dvije.
Da. Evo sad trenutno ovi smo iz Republike Srpske otišli, ali oni trebaju sad doći. Znači ima tu i iz Prijedora, i iz Bijeljine je ovdje bilo. Znači ovo naše udruženje i ovaj sindikat djeluje na prostoru čitave BiH, znači nije ovdje
The
podijeljena
syndicate
federacija.
has their branches all over the country, so the protesters are from all over the country, from both entities.
Znači ovdje nema nikakve podjela.
There's no any kind of difference between entities. They are working together. They are representing together all in one.
How long does he plan on staying here for?
Koliko planirate još ostati?
Pa da ti pravo kažem, dok se ne ispuni svaka od 7 tačaka, mi nećemo zadržati. Znači, nek sad se vlast promijeni vamo, ali da bi oni napravili ministarstvo, što je prva tačka, proći će sigurno još godinu dana. Znači, mi ćemo najmanje još godinu dana biti ovdje.
There's 7 points they are moving for. The first point is to have a Ministry of Agriculture who will work for the need of the workers. And until all 7 points are fulfilled, they won't leave this place. It means if even the new government or the new politicians change the situation and fulfill the first point, it will take about 1 year from this point until everything is done. So it means that at least for 1 year they will be here.
What's the all 7 points that you're trying to accomplish?
Koji je 7 tačaka koji pokušavate
Evo
postići?
ima ovdje na ovoj tablici, trebali bi je pročitati. Dok ne znam, ne sad ne pamet svako, ali...
They're on the signs.
There is a 7 points signed on that table outside, so you can leave and see them later. The first one is having a Ministry of Agriculture.
And if that is agreed to, then you'll end the protest?
Ako se prihvati svi 7 da li ćete prekinuti protest? Yes, absolutely.
What made him decide to come out here and camp and stay for a year and a half? What made him decide to come out here and to stay for a year and a half?
Šta vas je natjeralo da izađete ovdje da ostanete preko godinu i pol?
Pa eto to je, prvo što ne vidimo u ovoj državi nikakvog rješenja, kažemo, nemamo industrije, znači gledamo kroz poljoprivredu. Tu se dosta može ljudi zaposliti u poljoprivredi. Znači, a gledajte, čovjek u nas evo ima tu ljudi, kupili su one pilice, sad gledajte, opada meso, opada, nemaju kome mlijeko davati, pošto je toliko strahovit uvoz. Evo vidite koliki u nas deficit države na račun tog uvoza. A vjerujte vi da svaki dan 20 milijuna maraka, to znam tačno iz podataka, ide iz ove države. Znači svaki dan 20 milijuna maraka.
They believe that the improvement of economy is based on their agriculture because the industry is in so bad shape, and they believe that every single day about $20 million is fleeing away from this country because of the not well organized government and the rules.
To su pitanje i trgovački lobby, ništa drugo. Znači ministri su gore trgovački lobby, samo fino kupe, ima ti fini primjera. Dok je Azra Ahmetović bila ministrica ove, kako se to onda zvala, vanjske trgovine. A sjećate se one afere sa slovenačkim mlijekom. Kad su Slovenci tačno locirali odakle je otišlo mlijeko, a ona kaže da je to laž. To je apsolutno, znači, vjerovatno je morala dobiti pare za to.
There are some proofs that the ministry and the people in policy here in Bosnia are corrupted, and they believe that they made some major mistakes in the moves they made so far. There is a slight difference between each government team working on this case, but the majority of them are corrupted. He believes that the majority of them is corrupted, and there is no major difference.
What has the people's response been to the protest?
Kako su ljudi reagovali na proteste?
Gledajte, mi u većinom imamo 90% imamo ljudi nam daju podršku, čak nam donose i ovdje i hranu. Baš je sad, sinoć nam dolazi neki mlada organizacija, isto donijeli lako sokova i toga. Uglavnom, dobro, kažemo, imamo neki mali provokacije, ali to je zanimljivo odnosno.
About 90% of people are supporting them. Many of young people have helped them, bringing them the food or drinks and visiting them time to time. Also, they have some kind of provocations from the people in the streets, in the cars on the street, and so on. But it's a minority, but the majority of the people have support them.
Tradicija Sarajeva, ušli smo i u Guinnessovu knjigu rekorda, samo su nam rekli da kad se zatvori to sve taj proces, onda će ozvaničiti. Jer najduže je do sad bio 100 i nešto dana.
It's very interesting that they become part of Guinness Book of Records, and they had a visit from those representatives who told them when they finished this kind of meeting and protesting. It will be the longest one in history because the last one was about 100 days ago. So they will get another reward at least from this.
These are their winter provisions in case the protest goes on even longer. Sarajevo Rose. Eden told me the story of this building. He said it was hit by a modified rocket during the war. He said the explosion was so loud you could hear it all the way to his apartment building. He said it sounded like it was right outside. The power or electric company, something like that. Monument to those who died in the war. The last of the apartment blocks of the 4 that they haven't rebuilt, as you can see, that is rebuilt. That is not. And the other ones actually are, but you can't see. And we have the Hotel Bristol that has sat like that since I've been coming to Bosnia. One of the old Serbian Orthodox churches located in Sarajevo. These are the Marshal Tito Yugoslav National Army Barracks, which was surrounded during the beginning of the war. The Bosnian government besieged it, and they in return attacked and sniped into the city from here to all sorts of neighborhoods. This will be turned into the American Embassy shortly. These are the posters of the nationalist parties most likely to win in the upcoming elections. The SDP, Serbian Democratic Party, which was during the war led by Radovan Karadzic. And this is the Croatian Democratic Party, which is the former party of the nationalist Franjo Tudjman. And this is the STA, which was the party of Alija Izetbegovic. All 3 political parties are most likely to win in the upcoming election. These are the Stejčaks. They are graves of the Bogomils, which were the indigenous people to Bosnia, first settlers of this part of Europe, back before the Romans. This is the museum, history museum, full of Roman artifacts and the like. The art museum was shelled during the war, and it's currently closed because the roof is starting to collapse. We went in there yesterday. Eden has a friend who's an archaeologist. It's very unfortunate. Monument to victims of the war. I believe they were faculty for the school here. And probably students. Gavrilo Princip shot the Archduke Ferdinand and his wife Fergie, I believe, which started World War I. They were crossing the bridge right there. He stood on the corner, and when they turned the corner, they stopped, and he It's the opposite view of the bridge. This is the grave of Musan Seso Topolovic, the Bosnian army commander who was accused of killing Serbian civilians in the city. Eventually took a large number of Bosnian army flags, as well as the flag they used during the war and the current Bosnian flag. This is the grave of Ali Izetbegovic. Was recently bombed about 2 weeks ago, early in the morning. They had turned off the cameras that watched the cemetery overnight, just a few days before it. It was a large bomb. The grave was damaged. The run-up to the Bosnian elections has been particularly ugly this year. In weeks before the election, the grave of Ali Izetbegovic had been bombed. In the run-up to the upcoming elections, these Bosnian elections have been unusually difficult. Crap. In the months before the Bosnian election, political tensions have been running high. The grave of Ali Izetbegovic had been bombed at 3 in the morning, and only 9 days earlier, these security cameras, which monitor the graves, had been turned off at the time when his grave was attacked. Political tensions have been running particularly high. Serbs are calling for their own state, a referendum on separating from Bosnia-Herzegovina.
Oh, it's right outside of Bratunac, isn't it? It's the old cement factory.
This is the Srebrenica Memorial at Potokari. And right across the street is where the UN and the Serbs evacuated the Bosnian Muslims, where they separated the men and boys from the women and carted them off to be executed. It was right here.
tree. And those small hill with the flowers is the place where the bones of those unrecognized will be held. It will be common grave for all of those unrecognized, unidentified.
These are all the victims of the Srebrenica massacre that they've found so far, that they know. One name, there has to be 30 of them. Sulmanovic. These are about a quarter of the total victims of the Srebrenica massacre. The rest either haven't been identified yet or haven't been found. Well, this is it. This is the UN Dutch bat base where once the city of Srebrenica fell, everybody evacuated to this area, hoping that the UN would save them from the Serbs. Clearly that never happened. So hard to take. Right there is the
Orthodox Church and the graveyard.
yeah.
Because that's destroyed during the war.
Sarajevo, yes.
Mladic has broadcast his words about revenge to Turks and everything. This was the yesterday. Dolazne volje.
This is a part of the Sarajevo tunnel area, and while I was in filming, Richard Gere was in there, and I did get a picture of him. That's pretty freaking cool, if you ask me. So I came out and he's standing there, and they let me take a picture of him, and I talked to him for a minute. That was totally weird. Totally freaking weird. This is Butte Mir, and right across the way is the suburb Dobranja. And this is the Sarajevo Tunnel Museum right here. This is the old folks' home that was located on the front lines where the gypsies used to live, but now they're no more, so I don't know if they're planning on rebuilding this. It's like, it was a fantastic building before it was ruined. And the Deniad Baz building, which replaced the Oslobodajan building. Oslobodajan. Amazing. The structure's even still here. I've just been destroyed this much. See the difference between what the old building looks like and what the new one. Even the apartment blocks in Dobranja that have been rebuilt, you can still see the damage all over them. Caution, object is collapsing. That's the best sign I've ever...